Welcome back, everyone, to another AFR broadcast. This time, we're bringing you Tier 2 here at Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi. And, that's come a massive come down from that Tier 1 race. What an amazing race it was. Congratulations to, of course, Revo, who came across and won that particular race. But seriously, congratulations to everyone in that race. That was intense. That was absolutely intense. Okay, but let's gather ourselves as we prepare for qualifying here for Tier 2. 16 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. It looks like we've got 12 drivers in our Tier 2 race. This one should be a good one. I believe that Band is joining me in this one.
I am indeed.
Excellent. Great to hear your voice. All right, so before I get into Tier 2... that battle at the end there, I have no right to give advice, but I feel as though you should have made the overtake on the second DRS zone instead of the first one.
Oh, I know. I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I could see Gus, and I knew it was going to be close, and so I thought I had enough battery and might be able to just, get away with it, but unfortunately I just ran out of legs, and yeah.
Potsy managed to make pass. It was insane. For those who are watching the stream before, and for those who will rewatch it later, oh man, I was yelling off my head because I thought at the time I didn't realise that Potsy had a penalty. So I thought it was equal footing, and I'm like, Jesus, this is to the wire. This is to the absolute wire. And then, someone mentioned, oh, by the way, Potsy has a 3-second time penalty, and I was like, oh, god damn it! But it was such good racing from everyone. What a way to send off Season 3 for Tier 1. Now, hopefully, we'll see this again here in Tier 2. Now, I can see one new name here, Big Al 99. So it looks like he's a new sign up.
He is indeed.
Okay, so interesting. Let's see what he will show us today here. Of course, it's very weird that you sign up on the last race of a season, but nonetheless, we're welcome to any and all. So he'll be racing for Red Bull, it seems.
Yeah.
So
well, there was a big seat there, so he thought he would take that one. Enjoy it while he can.
Awesome.
He won't have such a good pick come car selection. So
no, of course, because he joined right at the end. But then again, all performances are equal. So unless you don't like the colour, I can't really see the problem. Yeah. All right, so 14 minutes here on the clock here in qualifying. First person out to start a lap is Farmer Dingo in the Rocket Williams. Let's have a look here. 1:01 is Sector 2 time as he moves through past into Sector 3. Looking at that grid there, what are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to come out on top? I mean, personally, I think we know who's going to win. Just saying. It's probably going to be Coach. But from the rest of the grid, what do you reckon?
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of heated debate in the Discord that I was in just before, so the boys are fired up and ready to go. I think Impulse, Red Panda, Jacob, T-Mac, they're all kind of, on the edge and wanting to, get that final victory for bragging rights. Mm-hmm. Of course, Coach is always going to be there or thereabouts. But yeah, really, it could be anybody's game. Going by some of the time trial times, it's been very, very close. So,
yeah, sweet. So, let's have a look here. So, Ali has just come across there with a 1:35.7. So, great lap from him. That on a soft tyre. Red Panda with a 1:35.9 puts him in second. Skins with a 1:36.6 on the medium compound. That's in third. Now, this is interesting. So, all of the times in Tier 1 were set on either the soft or for 3 drivers. Actually, it was 3 drivers. No, 2 drivers in qualifying, but 3 decided to start in the race. So 2 drivers qualified on mediums. But here we're already seeing, I mean, admittedly these could be warm-up laps, so I'm not going to say too much. But we've got a soft there, we've got medium, a medium, a hard, and a hard. And then we've got another soft as well. So CK80 coming across with a 139.1. And Farmer Dingo set his first warm-up lap with a 142. That's interesting, a 142 flat. Usually you don't see that, but
yeah,
142 flat.
Right on the money. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, during the practice races, the hards didn't ever really seem to switch on, and lots of people were already struggling with like tire temp issues. So, but the hards just didn't really seem to have the grip or the speed. So, hence why most of the people did the two-stop strategy.
Yeah, well, it did. After it was explained to me, a couple of people in the chat, and C Carrot gave me a little bit of insight as well, but after it was explained to me, it made a lot more sense for the two-stopper. As we see Coach, of course, coming across there with a 135.2 there on the soft tyre. So right now, it looks like a front row lockout for the Renault team. Let's see if they can hold on to it. We've still got 3 cars left to set an initial time. We've got the Haas there of the Boom, T-Mac in the Toro Rosso, and of course a newcomer Big Al in the Red Bull. So let's jump on board one of those guys. Let's jump on board with Boom. Let's see where he's at there with the Haas. As we count down 10 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Ooh.
Qualifying. That is a massive off. Oh, just missing the wall there. Very lucky, but he'll have to try and regain some of that momentum as he comes on for his flying lap.
He's going to be overheating those tyres. This is just his out lap.
That's all across. Let's have a look. What are we looking at? He'll start there. So I'll monitor him as he moves through turn 1. But I have to admit the two-stop... Oh,
he's got that all wrong.
That is a little bit wide, so that's going to hurt him quite a bit. So he'll have to recover. Let's have a look at Big Al and the newcomer as he comes across the line there to start his flying lap. Yeah, look, I have to admit the two-stop strategy really brought about for lack of a better term, whack. It's the only thing that's coming to mind right now. It threw a massive wrench in the works. It really did, because so Seb decided to start on the medium compound, so he was going for a long sprint. Now Lotus did the same, and so did Mikau. Mikau, however, he kept it. He went on hards, and it was funny because the entire chat was like, "Nah, it's ridiculous. It's not going to work." But he made it work. He ended up 6th, so there's something there. He got points. But the real surprise was watching everyone having to go 2 stops because of how much tyre wear everyone was going. Like, Revo's tyre wear was insane. Like, he was pushing that car to the absolute limit. And C Carrot was going back and forth with the telemetry, and yeah, it was nuts, right? And then we'd go to someone like you, where the tyre wear was much less, and everyone expected that because you tend to be a lot more consistent and safer going around the track. But it was really interesting to see because you saw positions change so much, and then when you had people rejoin, and at least in two instances, people rejoined side by side into turn 5. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen, and unfortunately Gus got hit with a penalty for it. But it was wicked, absolutely wicked to watch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it back, actually.
So while we were talking there, Big Al in the Red Bull comes across with a 138.3. Not a bad time, sets him into 8th there. Let's jump on board with T-Mac. Let's see, he's coming around on the end of his flying lap now. T-Mac, of course, one of these drivers that has shown quite a good, consistent drive, but sometimes gets caught out near the end of the race, and as I say that, puts himself in second with a 135.5. So he splits up the 2 Renaults there.
Yeah, he's quick. He's just new onto the wheel as well, so
yes,
more to come.
Yes, he did inform me of that. That's
he's informed everybody of that fact.
Yeah, tell me, because he was in the chat for Tier 1, and he was saying that, Tier 1's getting an edition of me and yada yada. And I'm just like, just remember, you crashed out at Spa all on your own last lap. Be humble.
Yeah.
But then told me that because of that, he reckons because of that crash, he was like, controller's overrated. I'm getting a steering wheel. Revo in the chat, that's a bit dodgy. If you could clarify that, because unfortunately I didn't look over. So, in reference to what? If you could just clarify that up for me, because I'd like to know what it is that you were referring to. Ali cutting the track to give Coach 2 slipstreams. I didn't even notice that, and if that's the case... Okay.
Well,
all right.
Funny story.
All right.
This is actually a move that I pulled off back in F1 2016.
Right.
And,
so what you're saying is it's a Renault thing.
well, it wasn't Renault at the time, but this season it may have been. I mean, he probably just locked up and just continued on through the braking zone, and just happened to come out in front of his teammate. Okay,
well, that's something that we might have to look at later. That's I'm glad Revo's watching. Of course, it would be Revo watching. Jesus, even when not racing, he's in the racing mindset. Oh my God, Impulse 134.873. That'll put him in provisional pole. And and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The improvement that man has made from the start of the season to now is ridiculous. Like, you can tell he's put in the time. Like, okay, so he has been very frustrated with the game. I do understand that he's been having some crashes and this and that. But, he really has incredibly improved on his time, which is something that I look so forward to in Season 4. Because it's going to mean that, and hopefully anyway, it's going to mean that we're going to have more close racing. And more close racing is just, that's what we want. That's what everyone else, the viewers want. That's what me as a car star want. That's what the drivers want, because it's a lot more fun. So I'm glad that people are putting in the time and they're ironing out everything. And as we get closer and closer to, obviously, F1 2019 being new in June and everyone having to get used to it, and then you play through the season. Now that we're in the second season and everyone's gotten it through their system and they better understand it, I am very, very keen for Season 4. I think we're going to see some incredible racing from both tiers. And, I'm just really, really keen to get that started, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it myself, actually. A bit of a mix-up of the grids. Couple of guys moving up, couple of guys moving down. Coach actually has requested a reserve driver role for next season. So
I do believe because he can't nail down the current time slot. So he wanted to make sure that, he wanted to compete in Tier 1, but couldn't lock in 100% attendance. So he wanted to sit in reserve, so that way he wouldn't take up a seat for someone who could make it. Coach came across just then with a 134.557, further cementing his lead. So Impulse does get knocked down by 1. And Red Panda managed to put himself up in 3rd. So now the Renault starts early. Renault starts in 1st, and the Ferraris alongside him, as Combat came across there with a 136.5. Only car so far with 3 minutes to go not to set a time is Boom. Hopefully he will be able to get out there and set at least a time, or he will have to start from the back, unfortunately. No, he retired from the session. Okay, so he'll be starting from the back. Doesn't look like he could get set up in, or just didn't feel comfortable at all. Not sure. Let's jump on with Red Panda, who I believe is currently behind Skins or Combat. I think it's Combat, as he's preparing for his flying lap. So 2 minutes 26 left here on the clock. The Renault of Coach currently on that pole position. 2 prancing horses close by. Impulse In the second slot, Red Panda in third. T-Mac in the Toro Rosso taking up the second slot on the second row of the grid. And Ali getting knocked back all the way down into fifth. He's pulling into the pits. So with 2 minutes left on the clock, I don't think he'll be able to set another time. So,
well, there is a slight desync with our timing, so there may be just enough. I think they have an extra minute on their screen. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. All right. Fair enough. I didn't realise it.
Because when we load in, they're still at the tyre selection screen, and the counter for us has already started counting.
Oh, I understand. Okay. Codemasters.
So, yeah, on point. Esports ready.
Esports ready. So Red Panda now coming down that back straight past turn 7 with the DRS on. So currently third, 135.2. We'll see if he can improve and beat his teammate. As T-Mac does split them both just then with a 134.9. So the Toro Rosso sitting himself up in the third. So Red Panda's going to have to pull it out. Let's have a look, see if he can get back that third position, or even better, climb
He's
up.
2/10 up.
He is indeed. Coming through the chicane now. A lot of them here in Abu Dhabi. So now working away past turn 14 into the nice embankment here of turn 15, 16. Again, very tempting to try and hold that flat, but if you do that the wrong way, you end up in the DHL wall. So Ali retires. That's a 135.7, so he's currently fifth. We'll see if that could hold on as we count down. We've got 30 seconds, 25 seconds left. CK retires from the session as well. Here comes Red Panda around that final corner. He'll come across the line with a 134.947, so puts himself back into third, not quite beating his teammate, but he did take the position away from T-Mac again. That's pretty good. We'll jump up one with Impulse. He's trying to go around faster, so his current rival will be Coach. We'll see if he can improve. Not too much of an ask, to be real. It's only about 3/10. So, I mean, that is fairly close. Impulse should be able to do that, but Coach is also currently on an outlap as well. Where does that? If he's on an outlap, does that mean he won't be able to make one? Or wait, the time? Yeah. Right. No worries. Okay, so Impulse now hard on the brakes.
He's 3/10 up.
12, turn 13. Here we go, turn 14. And again, props to Impulse. Massive improvement throughout the season, and it really is showing. Currently sitting second. We'll see if he can improve and get that top spot. It's the only lap left for him to do so. Big Al retires from the session. He's with a 137.4. Red Panda retires, so he'll be happy there with a 134.9. Here we go. Impulse coming around those last final corners. What are we setting at? Are we looking at a new pole? Oh, and he does it. A 134.497. And that has put the Scuderia Ferrari on the front row, in the first slot on the front row, I should say. Great job there from Impulse. Oh, it's got to be sour for Coach.
So close.
That is incredible. That is a great drive there from Impulse. So, Skins coming across there, finalising the qualifying session for everyone as we now go into the results board. So, quick recap. Impulse, great final lap there. Put himself in first on pole, 134.4. Coach, very close behind in the Renault with a 134.5. Unfortunately, not being able to do his final lap. Of course, the time did run out, so he'll have to be happy with that. In second, he'll be splitting up the two prancing horses. Red Panda in third there with a 134.9, and then of course T-Mac in the Toro Rosso taking up fourth with a 134.97. So not a bad drive from all of our guys. Unfortunate there for Boom. Couldn't get out and do a qualifying session, so he will have to start from the back as all of our drivers now get ready to set up their cars, finalise their fuel loads, and then of course we'll be off on the formation lap where they'll warm up their tyres, get everything ready, and then we can kick the show, or get the show on the road. That's the phrase I'm looking for.
That's it.
Oh, we can see some cloud cover here. Okay.
Yeah, the boys did mention a little bit of cloud cover, but that's about all. Shockingly, no rain.
Oh man, if it had rained out for that tier 1 race, I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to contain myself, I'll be honest. Like this, I'm almost glad it didn't, because seriously, like the only other race that was that good was in terms of tier 1 was Singapore. That was fantastic. That was just that was such a good race. Watching Revo trying to chase down Seb, and unfortunately the car letting go on him. But that was, if that hadn't happened, that battle would have been so good. But and Seb managing to bring it home in the rain on those dry tyres. Oh, great job. But this is definitely up there. And the only other race I'd say that rivals it would have been that 100% race at Coda. That was awesome, because you could see the fatigue start to set in, and then everyone was just doing really crazy stuff. It was really, really good. Let's have a look here. So, Revac. Yeah, Revac. That's right. So T-Mac did say earlier in the chat that he's like, in practice I was doing a 133. But no, 134.9. Zudix just tuned in on the way home in the car while the missus drives. Good luck. Sweet. Awesome. Good to see that you're not driving and watching, because obviously that's bad, children. Very bad. Who is my money on?
Down to see what's going on.
Yeah, no worries. You get an update while I'll keep on top of all these. My money. Where's my money on? I'm poor, so I don't have money to bet. But if I did, I'm going to say, I want to say Coach. But the thing is, Impulse has improved so well that, like... Okay, let me start again. We know T-Mac can keep up with Coach, right? Because he's done it before. But it doesn't look like he's as consistent. Also, he just switched over to a wheel. So I feel as though there's going to be like that time period where you have to get used to it. And so I feel like this might hit him pretty hard. But we know he can keep up. However, it hasn't been as consistent. So Coach has, sort of taken the season quite heavily. But Impulse has improved ridiculously from early on in the season. And he just set the pole time. So I feel as like I want to say Coach will win it because of the consistency factor, but there's a good chance Impulse takes this. And what I like about it is that there are at least 4 drivers there that can fight. And if the tier 1 race was anything to go by, like admittedly, Revo was like 19 seconds ahead, but it's a Revo and he's a very special case. But exactly right, Zudix. That's the thing. So Coach has great racecraft. So Impulse has improved to where his racing is great. But the question is, with Tier 1, we saw these 2-stop strategies, and the 2-stop strategies introduced hurdles of their own, and it made the racing ridiculously close. People were joining in close to each other, things like that. So at Abu Dhabi, I really don't know. I want to say Coach because of how consistent he's been throughout the season. But Red Panda can fight him, T-Mac can fight him, Impulse set pole. So Impulse has the pace to do it. What I want to see, I want to see those 4 all the way to the end. I want to see those 4 absolutely battle. As far as everyone else in the grid is concerned, I feel like everyone else in the grid is going to have a great battle with everyone else in the grid. But those top 4 are going to be the ones to watch out for. And as long as they can keep their noses clean and they great racing and they don't go too crazy. Like, go crazy. Crazy's good for us. It's great for us to watch. But as long as they don't go too crazy and they keep their wits about them, that could be a battle all the way to the finish line, and that would be awesome to watch. So that's what my money's on. My money is on Impulse, Coach, Red Panda, and T-Mac very, very closely fighting each other. If I had to lean one way, I'd say it's probably going to be between Impulse and Coach, and Red Panda and T-Mac might fall off. But anything can happen, especially when there's 2-stop strategy. This could be insane. Like I'm thinking this is going to be quite an intense race.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be very spicy. the getaway is going to be very important.
Matt saying, I need Impulse to finish P8 or worse to beat him in the championship and P6 for skins. I'm going to go ahead and say Impulse won't be finishing P8. Unless he does that in the race.
I mean, Impulse has really improved, as a complete driver. But he's still lacking, that consistency.
That's right.
Out of the wall.
That's
what really hurts him. So
right.
If he can get on top of that, maybe it's the tyre wear. It gets to a certain point and it just kind of gets him unawares. But definitely manageable. Definitely something you can work on.
Good odds on Ali podium. Yeah, and again, that's one of those drivers where he came in late into the season, but man, does he show up. Ali is a great driver. I know Band's got bias for him because he drives for Renault, but besides the bias, he's a good driver. And he just comes unlucky sometimes. Sometimes he gets caught up in incidents. But anyway, enough of that. Red lights. We're waiting for him to go out so we can get this started. There they are. Lights are out, and everybody is on their way down to turn 1. So Impulse gets a pretty decent start, and it looks like the middle of the grid's shifting pretty hard. Let's have a look. 3 into turn 1. We've already got a collision. That's forced T-Mac off the track. Damn. Okay, so the Toro Rosso gets dropped down. Everyone else manages to make their way through. We've got a Sector 1, Sector 2 yellow flag already. Let's have a look. I can't see too much of a problem. It just looks like T-Max dropped down into 10th. That's probably the warning as he went way off the track. So it looks like Skins for Farmer Dingo
has lost his front wing.
Right. Okay, so Farmer Dingo in front. Skins dropped back by 1. Currently on board with Big Al as T-Mac drops back. So unfortunate for T-Mac, but it's only lap 1. As long as he doesn't have any damage, which I don't think he does. No, I can't see any visible damage on the front of the car. So as long as he can keep himself composed, he should be able to work his way through the grid fairly okay. As for everyone else, Impulse, 1.1 second lead so far. As Red Panda is very, very, very close onto the back of Coach. We'll jump on board with him. Ooh, sideways.
Memphis has some front wing damage. So maybe something to do with the boom and his lap 1 incident.
Alright, so going to have to keep an eye here on Coach. He seems to be having some oversteer issues coming through some of these corners. Now, if he keeps scrumming speed like that, Red Panda's going to pounce fairly quickly. I mean, of course, DRS isn't enabled until lap 3. But the toe... Oh, Skins is out.
He's gone into the wall. Oh, no.
There it is there. You can see him just off the track. And that's his race done. Oh, what a way to exit lap 1 here at Abu Dhabi. That's rough.
Oh, there's a Big Al and T-Mac going toe-to-toe.
Oh, you can see a little bit of a train here as Farmer Dingo is also up in this battle. So here comes T-Mac, currently in 8th. Big Al, he's close by. Farmer Dingo, with all that battling, managed to squeeze his way up as well. See how all this pans out here. Coming down on that back straight, lap 2. So obviously no DRS. And no toe either. Everybody's on different sides of the track. Fair enough. So we'll see whether or not Farmer Dingo can climb his way through the grid here. And of course, all eyes will be on Big Al, see where his first performance of the season, where he'll sit. So T-Mac does manage to get a little bit away. Farmer Dingo inching up closer to this Red Bull. Will quickly jump up on board with Red Panda, as he is the closest of any car at the moment. He's trying to chase down Coach. And I've got to admit, man, I'm still a little bit taken aback there by Skins' early exit. Man, lap 1. That's rough. Alright, so as they come around this final corner, we will hit lap 3, which means DRS will be activated. Oof. Impulse takes the fastest lap, and then Coach immediately takes it from him, 139.7. So DRS is now enabled, and I must point out, Ali is awfully close to the back of that Alfa Romeo, driven by Jacob Meister. Let's see if he can do anything with it. On board with him now as they make their way down to turn 5. So hard on the brakes, keeping his Nose clean from the car in front. Now, he is the only car in this top section in DRS range.
He is.
So let's see if he'll be able to make a move here. Have a look at that KPH, man. So, Jacob doing a great job there of defense. Keeps himself right in the middle of the track, which forced Ali to have a peek each side, but it wasn't going to work. However, Abu Dhabi does have the double section of the DRS, so we'll see if he can make a move moving up through turn 10 into turn 11. Jacob keeps on that inside line. It's a pretty good defensive wall there, so Ali's going to have to take the safer route. And for now, at least, stay in line. But it's only lap 3 at 28, so there's plenty of opportunities to go. But a great drive here from the Renault to stay so close to the back of that Alpha.
He tried to sell him the dummy on that first DRS straight and wasn't quite able to get it done. Nice attempt though.
So T-Mac looking to overtake CK80. CK80 goes a little bit wide.
Oh no! Combat has crashed in the exact same spot.
Oh no way!
Skins. The Mercedes team have crashed out on the same corner. Oh wowee! I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it.
At least it didn't. At least it didn't break the sensor system.
At least we still have DRS.
Wow! Wow! Of all the cars to do that.
Oh, and the boom is gone as well.
Okay, so it's lap 4 and we have 3 DNFs. Okay.
And we've got Ali here having a look.
He goes up on the outside here as they come down into turn 8, and he does make the move. It's a great job. And he'll keep that. T-Mac does the exact same move, and he will take that as well. So Ali moves up into 4th. T-Mac moves up into 6th. Jacob Meister and CK both taking a hit, 5th and 7th respectively. So now Jacob Meister is going to try and retake that position, but we'll see if Ali can hold him off. Definitely the faster car on track at the moment. Seriously, I can't believe that both Mercedes crash out in the same spot.
Oh, the crash was almost identical.
Yeah, the only difference was Combat crashed further up the wall. Skins crashed in the tire wall, because you can see the tire wall's a bit different.
It's just Mercedes front wing all over the place.
Mikhail Toto banging the table, 100%. That's gift worthy right there. It was tough for the IRL drivers. Yeah, I mean, something happened for both of them to have. I mean, maybe you're carrying way too much speed, or you overcorrected just too much and you end up into the wall. It sucks that it's a DNF though, because a lot of the time this game does, like we obviously use full instead of simulation damage. We use full at AFR, but sometimes you can get away with like little bumps. You like scrape the wall and you lose an end plate, but that was like a full on the tire was folded on top of the car, so they hit that hard.
Ali's already pulled out of DRS range and he's catching Red Panda.
Yeah, the kid's got talent there. He's chasing up, so Coach, his teammates trying to do the same. Maybe a little bit miffed that the prancing horse took his pole position away. Now Coach really doesn't have anything to worry about. He's already won the World Drivers' Championship, so whatever. But I think just for pride's sake, he's looking to get a win here at Abu Dhabi and tick it off. But Impulse is the only car in his way. And so right now, Impulse's job is to maintain the consistency. That's the key. Avoid this area, because that seems to be cursed. And make your way past the rest of the track. And as long as he can stay in... Impulse pulls a pin early. Lap 5 goes into the pits.
Yeah, you can do it. The undercut is pretty strong, but I don't know. The mediums don't seem to me, to hold on the best when you extend those stints an extra lap or two. So
So T-Mac comes into the pits as well. So Impulse and T-Mac both in at lap 5, or technically 6, I should say, sorry. Impulse seems to join. He'll join in 6th position in front of Big Al and the Red Bull. T-Mac looks to join. He'll join in front of Farmer Dingo, because unfortunately Farmer Dingo is 48 seconds behind. Not a great race there for the Williams driver. Let's have a look. Nah, that's not going to work. Mediums won't be quicker than softs right now. So yeah, that seems to be the consensus, but we'll see, because I mean, Impulse has the driving ability to make it work if it can work. Revo, well, you're wrong, as you will see. All right, let's have a look, shall we?
Time will tell.
So Impulse currently on the fresh tyres. He's on the mediums in 6th position. Coach currently leading the race. Now, how many laps do you think, Band, is Coach going to risk staying out?
Oh, well, my gut says he'll go for a 2-stop. He should pit this lap, which he does.
Right now, okay.
Wise decision. You don't want Impulse getting too far ahead.
So I'm going to switch over to Impulse. Let's have a look how far ahead he gets from here.
Coach is out of the pit box now.
So let's have a look. So the pit box, of course, in Abu Dhabi, goes underneath the track through the tunnel and rejoins just before turn 5. More so into
under
turn
the
4.
Tunnel.
But I think right now, Impulse is going to be in front, and he does. Coach is going to join just behind. So the undercut, as of now, has worked. So a great job there by Impulse. Let's see if he can hold on to this momentum. Now, his only problem right now is he does have to get past CK80, and because of the hold-up, Coach will be able to catch up a lot faster. So right now you can see as Impulse goes way up on the side, he'll make that overtake nice and easy. So now Impulse's hope will be that CK80 holds Coach up the same. And
Coach is going to have to get past in this next DRS zone. He's going to have to. He can't afford to get stuck behind CK, who's yet to stop.
He's not going to make it. He's at 0.7 already. He's definitely not going to be able to make it before turn 11. So hard on the brakes here. Ooh, CK80. Oh, this is weird. This is weird. This is weird. This is weird. Ooh, CK80 probably not looking at his rear, his side mirrors. And that's going to allow Impulse to get away.
Oh, contact.
But there's no damage, I don't think.
No,
there is. No, there is.
Yeah, lost an end plate.
Oh, no. Okay. So, right now, Impulse is laughing. But we'll see how much of a handling issue we've got. Because Red Panda, have a look at Red Panda. He's looking at all of this and going, ooh, this is my chance. Jacob Meister jumps into the pits there. So CK80 has decided to stay out yet again. But then again, he looks like he's starting in the medium, so he'll have a longer stint. Coach is trying to get past, but look at Red Panda. He's looking at the situation going, okay, I might have a chance here. But turn 5 is not where you want to do this, buddy. Turn 5 is not where you want to do this, but he tries to do it anyway. On the outside, he'll have the inside line, and it looks like it does work. He forces Coach out. Oh, now they go into the hairpin. No, Coach did manage to hold on. So right now, Coach in the lead, well, not the lead, but currently in 3rd as Red Panda's right behind. Coach has DRS, but so does Red Panda. However, how much will that end plate affect the downforce of that car? It looks like Coach makes it across, but it looks like CK80 might hold up Red Panda. Red Panda tries to go up on the outside. There's contact. Gets out damage-free. Okay, props to you, Red Panda. You made it work. Admittedly, you forced CK80 out of the corner, but you didn't get held up, because that would have been the thing that killed you. So right now, Coach, a little bit in trouble. He does have that damage, but it doesn't seem to be affecting his handling too badly. At least.
Turn 2 and 3, he was really struggling. So I think he's not going to be able to pull a gap on him at all. So he's going to be under constant attack down those DRS straights.
Yeah, so Red Panda in a great spot now to jump over. You can see he's only 0.3. I must make an observation, however. Ali in 5th. He is closing up on CK80 there, so he should be able to try and come up into the battle soon enough. Lap 9, Impulse currently in the lead, 5.7 second gap between himself and Coach. Coach, in a very unfortunate situation, tried to get past CK80, couldn't quite do so, ended up bumping into the back of him, losing a bit of end plate. So Coach does have damage, and that is going to affect his race. And now Impulse's teammate is taking up the mantle and trying to pressure Coach into making more mistakes, as Red Panda is doing everything he can to make it past the Renault here as they come through the hairpin. Jacob Meister picking up a 3-second time penalty there. So as they come into that DRS zone, he's going to be in a prime position, and Ali has made the overtake on CK80 at the back as well. Skins has jumped on Rocket League. Hey, well, I mean, what are you going to do? I can't imagine it's very satisfying to watch everyone else race and not yourself. So
that's right. Well, you could see when Coach was going through turn 2 and 3, big lifts there because he just doesn't have that front end grip to go full throttle.
All right. So as it stands right now, lap 9 at 28. What do you reckon? Do you reckon Coach can make that home? Do you reckon he can defend that position?
Well, he's going to have to stop again. So and he's going to have to repair that wing. As long as Impulse can stay out of the wall, I think he's, favourites to take this home from here.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree
He's
with
got
that.
a 6-second gap, and he's not slow. So, I don't know. I feel that Coach really needed to stick with him.
All right, so just jumping back a little bit as CK80 seems to pull out. He's going to go into the pits as Jacob Meister makes up a position there into 5th. So Impulse still 6 seconds ahead. We have a look at the back end of the grid. Big Al 31 seconds behind CK80. So hopefully with that pit, he'll be able to make up some time.
Red Panda having another look at Coach. Almost being able to get past, but I don't know why you'd want to make a move just before the DRS detection point.
Sometimes you get that tunnel vision. Sometimes you just think, yep, this is the time to do it. So here we go. Coach is going to have to make a decision. He decides to stay in the middle of the line. Red Panda goes on the left side, so he's going to have an easy break into the corner, and Coach will have no choice but to let him through. So that will put Red Panda into second place and Coach into third. But Coach is not, Coach is not letting go. He might have damage, but his racecraft is still intact as they move down all the way into turn 10. He'll be on the outside line. Not a bad broadcast camera. This, we'll see how it holds up. Oh, he gets on the inside. He's still in the bollard, so there's no cut. Whew, okay. So the Renault doing a great job there to try and maintain, but the Red Panda holding on to second place. And all the while, as that battle continues, Impulse is getting further and further away. Currently 7.2 seconds ahead.
That was very, very close there. Lucky no more damage to either car. And Ali still two and a bit seconds back. I wonder if there'll be team orders.
Team orders? Considering Coach has a World Drivers' Championship, I think he should just, if he's limping... Oh, Jacob Meister with a 139.7 takes fastest lap. If Coach is limping, I feel like... if Ali's got the speed, let him through. But, I agree with you. Through turns 2 and 3, you do definitely see a bit of a lift. But, I don't know. I feel like the downfall here will be the length it takes between laps for him to pit, and then of course the fact that because you can choose not to repair your wing, correct?
You can, yes.
Right. So he'll probably repair his wing. Let's be real. But yeah, that's obviously going to add some time to the pit stop. So the question will be, how much is that going to affect his track position? And could we see a Seb-like drive where he gets his wing fixed, chucks on a tyre compound that just absolutely just aces it the rest of the way home? He's got damage. He's still within the DRS range. He's still 0.4.
Well, I guess if you can stay with him, anything's possible.
Yeah, so I just right now, that damage to me isn't like a race ender. I feel like he's in with a chance. My sadness goes out to T-Mac because where it stands right now, I don't think he can make it back to the fight at the top. I think he'll be stuck there in the middle section.
Need a safety car for that.
Zudik's Farmer Dingo on first championship points of the season. It's miraculous what happens if there are only 9 drivers in the field. But I said,
you got to be in it to win it, mate. You got to be in it to win it.
I did say that, and I apologise now if he crashes out, because that's going to be on me. So, Farmer Dingo, please stay consistent. Get yourself some points, man. You deserve them. So Coach still well within that DRS. You can see he hits the DRS detection zone, and he will have it. Admittedly, with less downforce, you can see the gap extend. So even with DRS, it doesn't close up enough to really make an attack possible. He also has to worry about braking, because you would have less effect on your front tyres for braking. So if you brake too late, you'll probably lock up and slide out. So he does have to keep that in mind. But I mean, we've seen excellent racecraft from Coach this entire season. He knows that. He knows how to control the car when it's got small amounts of damage like that. So I just don't see it being too much of a hamper. We're at lap 12 of 28, 2 laps to go until we're at the halfway point. Impulse hasn't really got... No, I take that back. He just hit the 7.9 seconds. So no, he is increasing it.
3-second time penalty.
Yeah, so you can tell he's trying to drive harder to catch up, and unfortunately driving a little bit too hard, and it's cost him some time there. So he'll probably be stuck around Ali and Jacob Meister. A really good question will be, Coach, no.
So he's obviously struggling to get that car where he wants it.
So now the great question will be, can Ali pick up the slack and challenge Red Panda? Because he's only like 3 seconds if you're taking the gap between himself and Coach at this. So once the pit stops come into effect, I don't know. Oh my God, Coach! It's a F1 track, not a 4-wheel drive track. Oh, he just went through turn 4 there. He hit all those bumps and launched that car.
Well, my guess is his tyres would be in the mid 30% range. So his tyres aren't exactly brand new, and he's got that damage, so he's going to be feeling, a little worse for wear. So Ali is definitely closing that gap down now.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. He's also closing it down on Red Panda as well.
Mm-hmm. That was my point. I feel like Ali can make a challenge on both. Oh, Impulse! 3-second time penalty. Okay, so that's going to throw in a little bit of that's going to throw in some beans here. So, of course, Impulse is 8 seconds ahead, but there's still another lap. There's still another pit stop to go. So, with that 3-second penalty, that could throw some things in the mix here. We'll see. So, of course, Ali is making time up on Coach here. You can see he's brought it down from 2 seconds to 1. And the more and more he drives, the closer and closer he gets. Again, props to that helmet. Great helmet design.
It is marvelous.
We all know who his favourite driver is, obviously. So, lap 14. So, we've just hit the halfway mark here. So, everyone, let's have a look. The average is about 7 laps. 6 laps, I'll say, because you've got some on 3 and 5. So, Ali is definitely driving bolts off this car.
Well, all these points will count to a better car selection, so... Being so new, every point will help him get a better car selection for next season.
Mm-hmm. So, refresh my memory here. So it is if you're in the top 4, the top 4 drivers can't be in the same teams.
That is correct, but that's only for Tier 1.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, gotcha.
Just to try and keep the championships alive for as long as possible.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Ali, 0.5, he is catching up to his teammate. Now there are 2...
He's going to let him through.
Yes, great job there. So that is the type of teammate you want. Coach knows he's won the championship. Yes, he could try and strive for another fast, but look, if his teammate's faster and less damage, let him through. Let's put points on the board for Renault, and that's exactly what Coach has done. Props to him for doing so. Now the burden rests on Ali. Newcomer to the season. Can he catch Red Panda? There's only 1.6 seconds in it. Personally, I think he can. I reckon Ali can drive the pants off that car, and he's definitely going to catch up to him. Impulse probably not.
1.3.
Yeah, Impulse probably not. Impulse is fairly far ahead, so we'll see.
Coach to the pits.
There we go. Okay, so lap 15, Coach goes into the pits. So he'll probably switch over to the mediums, or will he try for hards and go the rest? Nah, mediums, for sure.
Yeah, it's soft, medium. New wing going on.
So he'll probably exit out somewhere... 31 seconds. He'll exit out in 6th, exactly where he is. So all hopes for Renault for final points on the board here rest with Ali. Great drive so far. Keeps himself nice and clean, so we'll see if he can push this all the way. He's dropped it from 3-second gap to 1.4, and it's only getting closer and closer. Red Panda, of course. I mean, if Ferrari get a 1-2, that'd be fantastic. Here at Abu Dhabi, that'd be great. But I think Ali's going to give Red Panda a run for his money, and Red Panda knows it, because he's going to be looking at those side mirrors, and he's going to see that tiny yellow dot get bigger and bigger, and he's going to have to think about that and make sure to have a defensive strategy ready to go, because as it stands, he is breaking down that barrier. It's coming down slowly but surely. It is coming down. Also, they've still got to go in for multiple pit stops, so we'll have to see how that all comes about, how that all evolves. We've got a Sector 3 yellow flag. Looks like something's happened with Jacob Meister. Yep, he's off the track. He's crashed. He spun off in the same area as the Mercs, but he's got away with just wing damage and no real... as he pulls into the pits to get that fixed. T-Mac comes into the pits as well.
So getting to the pit stop phase for these guys up the front now. So who's going to blink first?
You can see everybody in the chat.
Red Panda pits, will Ali pit? Or does he reckon he can overcut?
Don't know, we'll have a look. So everyone in the chat, I say everyone, but most people in the chat are cheering on Ali as he brings it down. Have a look at this through the chicane. He's in the DRS moment. Here it is. The Renault has brought it down to within 1 second. So now Red Panda is going to have to make a choice. And Ali will have to do the same. When do they pit? Do they pit at the same time? Does he try and maintain the same gap? Or does he try and go one lap further? This is interesting.
Or I'd be tempted to come in this lap. I don't know what I'll do if I was Ali and Red Panda pitted this lap. I mean...
Ooh, hits the bollard, but gets away with no penalty. Lucky. Zudix, Ali, the Danrick performance we wanted this year. Okay, so there's your answer. Red Panda comes into the pit. Ali does not. Lap 17. So Red Panda will come in. We'll see where he exits out. Now, Coach has already pitted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back here with Coach. See, he comes around the back. Let's have a look. He's coming around that back end now. So Red Panda will definitely exit.
Red Panda is heading down the hill now.
He's coming into the pit tunnel. As Coach sets the fastest lap there with a 1:39.0. So Red Panda is very much ahead of Coach as he comes out of the pits. That looks to be, what's that, 5 second gap? No worries. So Red Panda is now 18 seconds behind Ali. So now I'm going to jump up on board with Ali. Let's watch him as he makes his way through Sector 2 and Sector 3. Now, I would assume he's going to pit in this lap.
Yeah, it would make sense. You'd have to.
The other thing to point out too is Impulse hasn't pitted either. Could that be a mistake?
Well, he's got the gap. He's got the gap, so he can afford to...
He's got the gap, but it's only 8 seconds.
Yeah, 9 seconds now.
Right, he goes
I'm not sure.
This would be it. Come on, Ali.
Here we go.
You've got to go in, right?
He's
There we go. Okay. All right. So now the question becomes: we'll jump on board with Red Panda. Now, based on the Abu Dhabi pit lane, Red Panda will come out in front.
He will. I mean, it was 16 seconds.
Yeah. So he will come out in front. Now, let's jump on board too. So Impulse is coming out of the tunnel now. So how close is this one going to be?
There you go. Red Panda's already in front.
There you go, right, and Ali's only coming out of there. As T-Mac sets the fastest lap there, he's looking to try and jump back in. And Ali and Coach, they're going to be close. There it is. So Coach now 1.9 behind. Now, the mediums will last, that's 10 laps. Yeah, they'll last to the end. So right now, it's all about racecraft. It's all about how well can you hit those lines, how much time can you make up, how well can you save your ERS.
Look at that undercut. Nearly 4 seconds. He was right on Red Panda's gearbox before. That's why I was thinking maybe it might be worth just following him into the pits, but we'll see if he can bring that gap down.
Props to T-Mac as well. He's managed to come close, 2.2 seconds, but we've still got 10 laps to go. So as the tyres start to degrade, as the fatigue starts to set in, and if the drivers start to make more and more mistakes, we could see a real battle. At least right now, the 4 people that I said, 3 of them are in the top 4. Ali has replaced T-Mac, but T-Mac's close behind, so we'll see if they can do anything about it. Impulse still in the lead with a 5-second buffer between himself and his teammate. So right now it is looking really, really good for Ferrari. Looking to get a 1-2 here at Yas Marina. But Ali isn't going to let that slip at all. They're all on fresh mediums. So all it comes down to now is driver ability. How well can they push these cars? How much can they maximize the potential? It all comes down to these final 10 laps. If we have a look at some of the back there, Farmer Dingo, unfortunate race for him. He is 44 seconds behind the Red Bull there, but as long as he can bring it home, he'll score points, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll stick it out. He'll do whatever it takes to get to the end, surely.
So T-Mac has brought down the time between himself and Coach to 2 seconds. And it's only coming down further. Now T-Mac does have a penalty. He does have a 3-second time penalty. So as it stands now, obviously he'll have to. But that's not going to stop him from trying to have a really good physical battle between himself and Coach. As he's bringing it down closer and closer. Now it's only to 1.5. Alright, as the time's out, so Matt's asked me for an onboard lap with Impulse? Sure. Let's have a look. So we'll stay out with him. I'll have to monitor the interval boards. We'll see if anything changes. As of right now, everyone's pretty far out. So Impulse coming around that final corner there. Lap 19. He'll cross the line. Let's go on board with him. So current race leader just set a faster lap there with a 1 second faster than his fastest lap of the track. Of the race, sorry. Here we go. So nice clean lines. Hard on the brakes here into turn 5. Nice use of the apex. Again, I apologise in advance. Matt, if you made me switch to him and he crashes.
It won't be on you this time, Kuno.
No.
Takes a lot of curve on that second part of the chicane.
Alright, so Big Al has come into the pits. He'll switch to the soft compound.
Someone looking for a fastest lap, maybe?
No, well, he'll get it. There's only 9 people left. So if he gets the fastest lap, he'll get the point. Have a look at that interval there. I won't switch off just for the sake of completing the lap, but T-Mac is 0.7 behind Coach right now. And there we are.
Very solid lap there from Impulse.
Yeah. Was 0.3 slower, but not bad. All right, jumping back down to T-Mac as he's trying to chase down Coach here. If you don't mind, Band, could you possibly go into the race director and give us a penalty update?
I sure can do that for you.
I promise viewers, moving forward in the next season, I'm going to start writing everything down. So that way we don't have to do this.
So Jacob has 1 3-second time penalty. T-Mac has 1 3-second time penalty. Coach has 1 3-second time penalty.
Oh, that's
Impulse,
right.
Yeah, Impulse as well has 1 3-second time penalty. And that is all.
Have a look here as T-Mac goes up on the outside, coming into turn 8. He'll make the move. So, with that update, so Impulse has a 3-second time penalty, so it's not outside the realm of possibility for him to lose first. T-Mac and... Yeah.
Sorry, you can say.
Sorry, so T-Mac and Coach... Oh, Coach not taking it down. Have a look at that.
Look.
He goes up on the outside. He'll be on the inside. Then the outside for the chicane. Can T-Mac hold on? It doesn't look like it. Coach will stay on the outside, but then T-Mac takes an inside line, and because of that, he takes a 3-second time penalty. Coach baited him hard. Coach baited him hard. Oh, no! Coach has spun.
Oh, no.
Coach has spun. Now, the reason for that was very, very simple, and we'll watch it back in the replay. Let's have a look here. You can see how hard they were racing. T-Mac got baited into taking the inside line. That caused him 3 seconds. Now, Coach went in a little bit too hard, taps the back of the Toro, and spins out sideways. So it's not too heavy, but it's enough to put a 3-second barrier in there. However, T-Mac does have a 6-second gap. So right now it's even. As it stands, it's even. But that was a great battle there. T-Mac doing really, really well to maintain that position. But he did get goaded into taking a sharper line into that corner, which did give him an extra 3-second penalty. So that's gonna count at the end of the race, definitely. Yeah,
definitely. And I was just going to say before, Ali on 2 warnings at the moment, so 1 more and he'll get a time penalty. But he's really starting to close the gap into Red Panda now. Maybe he's looking after his tyres a bit better. I'm not sure, but he seems to really come to the game in the later part of the stint. So,
well, the gap was something like 4 or 5 seconds when they exited the pits. He's brought it down to 2. Red Panda's also brought the gap down between Impulse as well. Impulse was something like 8 or 9 seconds ahead. It's only 6 now. Impulse does have a time penalty as well. So, as it stands, Ali's in a really good position. As long as he can sort of, keep this momentum going, he might be able to catch Red Panda to the end. We've still got 6 laps to go. And we saw what Seb did in 2. So, I mean, I'm sure Ali could do something in 6. But the question is, can he push the car that much? Because, of course, not only does he have to go faster than Red Panda, but then Red Panda also has to make enough mistakes for the gap to close. It's only 2 seconds. 2 seconds is definitely possible within 6 laps. Or 5 laps now. But it is asking a lot. And hopefully we can see Ali deliver.
He's looking at another podium position at the moment, regardless.
Yeah, so I mean, that's right. If you take into account, forget about everything else, Ali's on the podium. And to do that, great job, man. So keep it consistent, make it home, and you get yourself at least a little bit of silverware. Brakes there. Zudix. Are you racing next season? I am, actually. I will be racing in Tier 2. I'll be doing terribly, but I do want to try and get better at F1 2019. I shouldn't say 2019, just in sim racing in general. But the other thing too is I also want other people to have an opportunity to cast as well. I don't want to monopolize it. So right now I understand that everyone likes me doing it, and I absolutely love that, respect that. But I feel as though we should have more people jumping into the commentary box so we can have more flavour. There's also a lot more people, for example, like Band and others that have a lot more F1 knowledge than I do. So, they can give you a lot better insight. But having said that, I think you guys will be pleased with the plans we have in place for Season 4. I think that you guys will be very well impressed with the plans that we have for you guys, at least on our part here at the broadcast team. Let's team up. Maybe. I don't know. Just one step at a time. One step at a time.
Season's not over yet.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so lap 24 of 28. Ali.
3. Whoa.
Yeah, so have a look. Ali's managed to bring himself down to that 1.2 second mark. Ladies and gentlemen, we could see the Renault take this second spot. Now, Ali and Red Panda don't have penalties, but Ali is dancing the line. He's already got 2 warnings, so he's got to be very, very careful. But as it stands right now, he's brought it down to that 1 second barrier. Almost got the DRS there, almost. Just squeezing out. T-Mac, 6.6 seconds behind Coach. Unfortunately, doesn't look like he can make up the gap to T-Mac. But all he has to do is fall it under 3 seconds. If he can fall it under 3 seconds, he's got it.
So Red Panda's got 1 warning.
Right, okay. So he's still got a little bit of a buffer there. Oh, Ali, don't do that.
Oh, don't do that again now.
Oh, Ali, don't do that. Ali, don't do that. Oh,
don't do it on lap 28 either.
Jeez. Let's have a quick look at that again. So as they come out of there and come around that last bit. Woo! Way too close. Leave the drifting to Revo. Just stay consistent. Okay, so lap 25 of 28. Coming around the hairpin. Still outside the DRS range, but making up time.
T-Mac not really gaining. Still 6 seconds, so... And he's dropped Coach as well. I'm not sure if Coach might have some damage or something, maybe.
We can have a look. Nope. His front wing does seem to be intact, so at least from a visual perspective, it seems fine. Okay, so Ali, it's starting to dance a bit back now. It's floating towards the 2 second mark. And you can tell 27% on the ERS, Red Panda with 60. So Red Panda doing a much better job with the conservation of energy than Ali is, and that might be key. That might be what keeps Red Panda in the lead, because right now you can see Ali switching it to off. Switched it to overtake. Looks like he's trying to make up the position, but it's draining quite rapidly. And Red Panda has, 60% in the tank. So as we come down to those last laps, we'll see if he can pull it off. But right now, I mean, look, down to the 17%. So what Ali's doing right now is, it's kind of clever. Like, he's balancing the ERS to a point where he can... Oh, God. Don't sideways, man, please. So he's balancing the ERS to a point where he can go all out, and then it drops down to like 10%, and then using the slower sections of the track, he brings it back up, and he dances this fine line. So it's never at 0 and it's never at full. So he still has the energy to use, but the problem is he won't have the energy to use when he needs it, whereas Red Panda will, because if we switch back to Red Panda, you can see he's on overtake and he's still got 50%. So props to Red Panda, because right now everything is lining up in his direction for him to keep on to this second place position. But we still have 2 laps to go, and penalties are notorious for popping up late. So We'll see how it goes. Right now, Ali doing a great job there to stay in third. A great drive overall. Coach being the nice teammate, got out of the way, let him get past. So Ali going to bring home the points for Renault. And the podium finish if he continues to drive the way he's driving.
Is this the first time Coach has been beaten by a teammate?
Possibly. I don't know. I have not studied the board that closely, but...
I'm going to have a look at that right now.
Sphinx is saying yep.
Yep, first time.
Wow, okay. Alright, so the time still floating around that 2-second mark. Red Panda pulling an excellent drive here to keep that second position. Impulse still in the lead, 6-second gap. Now, of course, he does have a time penalty, so it comes down to 3 seconds, but he will still take the win as it stands. Hopefully he can keep himself clean for the next lap, and he'll be able to take it. As it stands right now, Ferrari will take the 1-2, which will look absolutely great, especially for our last race here of the season at Yas Marina. Question on everyone's mind is, can Ali make up this gap? We're hitting lap 28. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's a great drive regardless.
It is. It's been a really phenomenal drive. The speed that he's had and the composure. Starting, I think, where did he start? I think 5th or 6th.
You can see Impulse at the back there, coming down the back straight. Fuel light coming on. So a great drive here from Impulse. Puts himself on pole. Manages to pull off the better race strategy. Keeps himself clean. And as it stands right now, he will take the win here at Yas Marina. For Ferrari, his teammate in second. Looks like he'll do an excellent drive himself. Bring home second place on the podium. And then, of course, Ali, who I would probably vote as driver of the day. Based on his position gains and consistency. I do have to give props to Impulse. You pulled it out of the park. You smacked it out of the park, man. As he comes around this final corner with a great consistent drive, and that's going to allow Ferrari to win, and they're going to take that first position. And of course, Red Panda comes across in that second place. Great drive from both of them. That'll be great points for Ferrari, and a perfect drive for Ali there, getting Renault third place on the podium. T-Mac will come across in fourth, so a great job from him after that unfortunate incident early on. Coach will take over fourth because, of course, T-Mac had the penalty. So, 3.9 seconds was the gap there. So, Coach with a fourth place. Not bad. Unfortunate for T-Mac, but sometimes you have to go a little bit slower, man. You got to try and keep it between the two ripple strips.
Yep.
So, Jacob Meister comes across the line. Now he'll stay in sixth. Great drive from him. CK80 hauling off the 7th. Farmer Dingo comes across the line with 1 lap down, so he'll stay in 9th. And CK80 comes across the final couple of corners now. And of course, Big Al, our new join, he finishes in 8th here.
Points on debut.
Decent drive. And there we are. Okay, so that is our Tier 2 race done. Oh, not as intense as our Tier 1 race, but good nonetheless. as we see Ferrari celebrating their 1-2 victory. Great drive from both of them, and of course an exceptional drive there from Ali to take that third position. Great consistency all around. As we finish Season 3 here for Tier 2 at Abu Dhabi.
Yep, another season done.
Another season done and dusted. So hopefully, as the drivers have gotten their kinks out for the for Season 3, we should see some better racing for Season 4. And of course, that means more entertaining racing for you guys at home. So again, great job from Impulse Red Panda. Great points for the Ferrari team, first and second. Great drive from Ali, sets himself up in third. Unfortunate for coach, but he does come across in fourth because teammate, of course, with the penalties. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed that at home. I know I have. As usual, I'm Q90. This is Band Camp. Now, just before we leave, we will be making a slight change to Season 4. We have decided that we're going to try and stream on Mixer. Now, the reason for this is because we will have a couple of more features up our sleeve if we do so. Hopefully, this will mean more entertaining broadcasts for you guys. So please stick with us. We'll have much more information as we get closer to the start of Season 4. And we will be kicking off our Mixer stream with, I believe, classic car races that we plan to host.
Yeah, the plan is to do a few classic car races over the summer break, and then we'll return with F2, 100%, and the 2 tiers.
Excellent. Okay, so for those of you at home, thank you for watching so much. I've been Q90. This has been Band. I've been pleasured and honoured to bring you all of the broadcasting for the current season, and we will see you when we return. Just another one for those of you who are planning on participating. The driver selection, the team selection is 21st of December.
That is correct.
At 12:30 or something like that. So Be sure to be there so you don't lose out on a potential team that you wish for. Okay, that's enough from me and Band. You guys have a great one, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.
See ya.
Bye.